Hey guys, I'm Saloon and welcome back to Sharing My Journey. I have been producing for about 6 years now and I'm sharing all of my experiences with music production with you. So this is chapter 2 of 5 and in the last video I talked a little bit about how I got into music production and also I share with you some of my earliest tracks, which was pretty embarrassing for me, but I still felt like it was an important part of my journey that I wanted to share. So in this video, however, I will be talking about how I really found my passion for music production and how I got into future bass anyways, which was like huge back in 2018, 2019. So with that said, let's get into the video. I have been producing at this time for around 6 months now, and I kind of decided that I wanted to pick a genre, a direction I wanted to make music in. And initially that was old school progressive house. Progressive house that was inspired by NCS artists such as Electromania or Jim Joseph. So I call this chapter Golden Ages, because back then I just had a lot of fun with music production in general, and like every track felt like it was something special, and every track felt inspiring, and I was just having a ton of fun with making music. As soon as I would finish a track, I would just instantly upload it to SoundCloud, and I used to finish tracks pretty fast, but that was not because, I was already that good in music production. Like, no, not at all. I was still very much a beginner. And when I was done with the composition, I had no idea what I could do. So I was like, yeah, this song is done, let's upload it to SoundCloud. And it didn't matter that the verse only had like one instant of FL keys, which is playing like a boring melody and a boring chord progression. I still felt it was finished, and I uploaded a lot of songs. And that alone felt kind of mind-blowing to me that, I could just upload something I've made entirely my own into the web and people will actually see it and like it. So that were really fun times all in all. And that is something I also kind of miss from back then, because I couldn't really appreciate like how much fun I was having, how inspired I felt. Cause if I look back now, I don't want to say like that I don't have fun with music at all, but it's much rarer nowadays. Where back then it was like every single track I felt inspired, I made something I loved, and now it's like once in a blue moon, literally. And I think that's mainly because I have already listened to a lot of music and made a lot of music myself. So it's really kind of hard to make something that really blows me away and I say like, wow, this is crazy that I just made that. I love this. And yeah, it's kind of ironic because back then I always looked in the future and kind of thought to myself it would be so much better if I could make better mixes, could make better melodies, if I just could express myself better. But I never truly appreciated, how much fun I was having with music production. I also decided to change my name to Falcon. So I was 7 Hour before, then I switched it to Falcon, and now I'm Saloon. And I hope it stays like that now. But I think I just felt like I wasn't resonating with 7 Hour really that much, and that this EDM project needed a new name. So I went by Falcon. After that, I started to create NCS inspired progressive house. Like I've told you before, but that era wouldn't really last too long because very soon I would discover an artist that kind of changed my whole idea and outlook on music itself. And the artist I'm talking about was of course ILLENIUM. Like when he first dropped his second album, Awake, Trap Nation had this ILLENIUM event when they used to post every single week a new ILLENIUM track. And the first track I heard from ILLENIUM was, I think, Beautiful Creatures. It could have also been the Take You Down remix, but I can't remember for sure. But anyways, I heard Beautiful Creatures and I was like, wow, like this guy, who is this guy? He's insane, he makes so beautiful music. And then the next week, Trap Nation would release another song of ILLENIUM, which was a banger again, and the next week again and again, and it was just this very cool event, and I'm super proud to be a part of it. From that moment on, I only wanted to make music like ILLENIUM. Like, I just made a lot of future bass, I wanted to sound like ILLENIUM, I looked up tutorials how to be like ILLENIUM, and well, it wasn't that easy, because anyone who is producing knows that making superstars suck. And I had no idea how to make them sound good. And I always kind of asked myself, how is ILLENIUM doing it? And I kind of thought I would never be able to figure out how to make proper superstars. But I did. So just kind of, I guess the message is just keep long enough at something and you will figure it out eventually. I'm gonna show you some tracks now that I made back then. So the first track is gonna be like a progressive house track, and then just a lot of future bass, very ILLENIUM inspired. And yeah, I hope you will have a fun time, so let's listen to them.
Say goodbye, don't make me cry. Oh, we're fading again, but I won't give in to you. I hear the sounds of your heartbeat. I can hear it now. I can hear it now. I hear the sounds of your heartbeat. I can hear it now. I can hear it now. Your heart for takeaway.
So this song was posted 3 years ago, which is like already 2 years of progress from our last song Journey, which was posted 5 years ago. And I hope that you could hear that my music has improved. Not like an insane amount, like I've seen producers go in 1 or 2 years from complete beginner to insanely good already. But for me, it was never really like that. And I don't think that's really a bad thing. Like, I don't mind because I still got to post kind of all these beautiful songs and I had a fun time with each and every one of them. So I'm really grateful for that. But despite that I didn't know what I was doing, I still made a fair bit of progress, I think. If you compare this song to like my first song, which I showed you before. So this was it for today. I hope you liked today's episode of me just going through my old songs, reacting to them and sharing them with you. At this stage I was making music pretty much casually and I wasn't really invested that much. But that would change very, very soon with 2 special tracks I've made. And these tracks, I couldn't really know it back then, but they really changed my life. Just because how invested I got into music production and how many awesome people I've met through them. So that is something that you will see in the next episode. So cheers and until then.